There is discussion within these documents years ago to ban the YouTube channels, to shut it down, all of that. But they changed course. They made a decision to do something completely different, and they decided, instead of censoring everything, to fund and promote gatekeeper channels, shield channels, to simply gather and collect all the open-minded people who are looking at the issue. And they did shut down some of the legitimate channels, and that has actually happened. If you're following some of that, you are aware that there have been channels that have been shut down, almost completely eliminated. Some of those channels were not a part of the original gatekeeper channels. They have no connection. They are truth-telling channels. Some of those they've eliminated that they felt were a threat or that might be calling out the gatekeeper channels. So, I'm just looking through some of the documents here and seeing what I want to talk about next. One really interesting aspect of all this is that the gatekeeper channels and the shield channels, typically these would be disinfo channels. Disinfo channels, like Alex Jones, for example, has been a long time disinfo Zionist channel. Very, very active in deflecting people away from Zionism. Alex Jones talks about everything, but he never talks about Israel. So that is an active disinfo channel that's been around forever. What they created with these new gatekeeper channels is very truthful channels. They're very honest. They don't put out a lot of disinfo. They are actually legitimate. And that is done to give them credibility among these people who are awake, who are waking up. It was very specifically done, the documents to talk about that. Now I'm going to talk about what is the purpose of the whole operation, and the purpose of this is to put out truthful channels, to attract people to them. They call it tag, track, and ID. It is a term used throughout the documents, TTID. It's something you want to remember. This is very common throughout these documents. They're referred to it all the time. So what does that tell you? They want to tag, they want to track you, and they want to identify who you are. If you are watching these channels, if you are informed, if you are awake on these issues, they want to tag you, they want to track you, and they want to know exactly who you are. They want to know, and it talks about the tracking people's IP addresses through YouTube. They have access to YouTube. They do know who you are. So this is discussed a lot in the documents. I'm just looking through it right now. And there are two projects, and it's very important to listen to this. Project Pogo is one of them, and Project Zyphr. I will spell that one. Zyphr. Project Pogo and Project Zyphr are the two projects that the classified documents are referring to, and each has a different role. Project Pogo is about the YouTube gatekeepers, how they are all agents. They are all paid to put out truthful information so that they can tag, track, and ID the people that are watching the videos and giving them likes and giving them comments. They're tracking all of it. Project Zyphr is a different project, and that's what I'll talk about in a bit. That is the second stage here. That is coming up. And that is the extermination. They're going to exterminate these people, whether it is tag them for anti-Semitic speech, charge them with crimes, eliminate them completely, and this is where I'll talk about in the documents where they talk about guillotines, viral attacks, targeted, how they're going to eliminate these people without too much suspicion, without too many people noticing. But here's the problem. As I read the documents, I can see I have documents from 4 years ago, I have documents from 2 years ago, and then I have documents from 3 months ago. So there's a progression in the timeline as the projects change. And Project Zyphr has changed. In the beginning, they were talking a lot about, okay, we are going to infect these people with a virus that imitates the flu virus. They're going to eliminate them in various ways that would not be suspicious. In the documents I have now from 3 months ago, they are saying the amount of people they have to eliminate is too large. It is too many. We are talking about millions of Americans. And this is where we see their plans are changing. And they are going to initiate something that is devastating and that is extremely frightening. And based on what I can see in the documents, we're talking about power outages along with a purge. They're going to come in, they're going to take you out of your home, and they're going to put you into a military vehicle or whatever, a van, and drive you away and place you into a camp. It is a very, very big operation that they're planning. It is millions of Americans. They will do it under the cover of night, under the cover of blackness, during one of these planned blackouts. The blackouts are based on documents. I'm just looking at it right now. They have a 3-day blackout. They have a nationwide blackout that lasts 2 days, and a lot of localized blackouts. So it is a whole series of blackouts that they're going to do. And of course it will be blamed on all kinds of things. They might blame it on Iran. I have seen that mentioned in the documents. They've already prepped people for this. There are going to be more blackouts. They're already predictive programming. So we may see more of this as we go on. As far as I can tell from Project Zyphr, or Zyphr, they are planning this next year and the year after. They are not done tagging, tracking, and identifying everyone. It looks like they're at about 78%. I looked in the documents, and there were a couple of indications of how far along they feel the project is. They're like 78% done, but they're not completely done. It does take time to identify a YouTube account and then track it to the email that it was created with, and then the IP address, and then find out who created it. It does take them a lot of time to do that. It is not instant. It does take a lot of research, because a lot of people create a YouTube account with an email address that doesn't give any indication of who they are, an account name that doesn't have their full name on it. They don't use their real pictures. So it is a challenge for them, and that's why the project has been going on for so long. But it is coming to a close. In the next 6 months to a year, it appears it is coming to a close, and that is when Project Zyphr will be initiated. So I have some notes here. I'm going to continue on, talk a little bit more about right. They're being tracked, they're being identified. That's the whole point. A lot of people have said, well, why are some of these YouTube channels allowed to exist? Why are they allowed to so openly talk about the truth? And some of you might know Adam Green, No More News, and there are a whole bunch of others, and they're very, very open about Zionism, and they're very honest about it, and they're telling the truth. I mean, they are telling the truth. They're not hiding anything. They're not disinfo. They're not putting disinfo out there. But as far as I know, they're all a part of this operation. I can't say specifically if Adam Green is a part of it or not, but I would assume possibly he is. He's probably been guaranteed a lot of money. He's probably been promised a lot of things. He could be a Freemason. He could be a part of their operation. He could be an agent. I don't know, but I have no idea. It is total speculation on my part. I have no idea. All I know is this is part of the operation, what they want to do, his channel would fit into the MO. It is an example I'm giving. He is there to tag, track, and ID. Not him specifically, but the people behind the operation who are doing all the research and all the people who are commenting and viewing and liking. They want to know who they are, they want to know where they live, and they are going to eliminate them at a date in the future. Completely eliminate them. This is going way beyond the idea of passing laws to ban speech, which they're already doing. They've done it in America already, but not very aggressively, and we will see more legislation of that nature. But they want to completely eliminate these people because they do stand in the way of the agenda. There are too many people that are waking up. It is way too many for them to handle. They're starting to have an influence, and they're starting to change the conversation online. It is of grave concern to Israel.
This is the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 16, verse 68. For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you, and feed you being idle with things offered unto idols. I want to give all honor, glory, and infinite praises to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem HaQadash. Double honor to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the elect scattered abroad, pushing his truth and sincerity. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem HaQadash, Barakatham. To Zakwanim, Wa'akim, Wa'kwafim, you know, you elders, you brothers, you sisters, the hopeful elect, out there laboring, keeping the commandments to the best of your ability, giving diligence to make your calling and election sure, and of course, keeping faith in Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, in these last days and these perilous times that we're living in. This is Brother Pashai, Bon Yashar, and this will be a quick lesson through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. You know, basically going into Project Pogo, Project Zyphr, you know, the target, the track, the ID. You know, basically that real purge that's coming on this earth, martial law, FEMA camps, you know what I'm saying, all hell breaking loose in the society. Esau using the military to wipe Americans out, you know, wipe you people out, man. You know, we know who Esau's main target is. That's the elect, right? But in the midst of that process, he's going to be killing a whole bunch of people that just, that watch videos going to, you know, Zionists and Illuminati and Freemasonry and stuff like that. Like the dude in the video was bringing out the information. And I got that video, which I'm gonna post a link to the brother's video in the description box below. But I got that from the brother Aharon Amath Ba. Sorry if I pronounced the name wrong, but I got that video from that brother's channel, which will be in the link. The link to that brother's video will be in the description box below. Right. So after I watched that video, Spirit hopped upon me to watch it like 3 times, you know, to get the understanding of what Project Pogo was, Project Zyphr. It all links up to the prophecies, man. Ultimately, all links up to the prophecy, like I just read in 2nd Esdras 16 chapter, which we know Project Pogo, like we've watched the video, Project Pogo, whatchamacallit, is these YouTube gatekeepers, the agents that's paid to basically bring out information that's true, just so the followers and listeners that watch those videos can get tagged, to get marked, to get, you know, basically that they're gonna find out who that person really is, the avatar that liked the video, commented, you know, which is a whole bunch of people. That's why I take the process. And I believe he mentioned how they like 70% finished with finding how many people they got to kill, basically. And then you're going to come down with that holy hell, which you go into what project, which is part 2, the other project, Project Zyphr, where they basically the elimination project, where they eliminate these people that watch these videos, which we know brothers, sisters that watch the videos, they like the videos, comment, shalom, all of that, they're on that list. And we, of course, we're on that list, you know what I'm saying, to get marked, you know, to get eliminated, basically. But the Lord will be standing for his elect, so we got nothing to worry about. You know, we got the Lord promised deliverance for his elect. But in the midst of that process, a lot of Americans are going to get put to death. A lot of these false jakes out there, those that claim they, you know, they in the truth and all of that, but they not really about it. They gonna get put to death. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of false prophets out there. They're going to get put to death. You see, it's going to be a lot of death coming, basically. You know, a lot. Right? So I don't got to really break down the video. You brothers seen it. If you sisters seen it. So I'm going to filter it through the precepts. Let's get it. 2nd Esdras 7:6. Oh, Slack. Another thing he mentioned in the video, I just want to bring it out. He also mentioned how they plan on doing this next year, you know, or the year after that. They plan on bringing out Project Zyphr, you know, coming down with holy hell, man. So let's read this. 2nd Esdras 16 verse 68 again. For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you and feed you being idle with things offered unto idols. And they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and in reproach and trodden underfoot. So if you consent unto Esau, when you come down with that wrath and try to, you know, make us bow down to, you know, different idols and, you know, take the mark of the beast and all of that. If you consent unto them, the Lord can kill you, basically. You're going to be trodden underfoot. You know, you're going to be had in derision and in reproach. Verse 70. For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection. The word insurrection means what? A violent uprising, right? So it says, for there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. So he's ultimately going to the Israelites, right? Which, you know, go even further and go into the elect, right? But it says they shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. So Esau gonna be like a madman. He gonna send these troops out, and they're gonna be like madmen. They're not gonna spare nobody because they're gonna have a mission. You know, they're gonna have an assignment to eliminate everybody on that list. You see this? So that's what Esau doing as we speak. Esau is literally up. You know what I'm saying? Has a whole bunch of people on the internet, on these laptops, on these smartphones, figuring out who are these avatars. You know, a lot of brothers don't. You know, people don't put their real name as a YouTube account. So they got to find out the email address that made that YouTube account, you know, to find out the IP address where it came from, you know, find out the real name of that person that made that email address and all of that, then write that name down, find out where they live, all that stuff, you know. So that's what Esau's doing. That's the process he's doing. And it's millions of Americans that they want to kill. So it takes a process. But Esau's almost finished now. He's been doing this for years, you know, so he's almost done, right? So during that time, we already know who's on those lists, all of us. You know, us brothers that go out there and teach, you know, outspoken ministers, to go out there and teach the word, because that's what the guys listed as. They said outspoken ministers, stuff like that, right? They're on that list. We on that list as brothers that push this word, starting with the elders and apostles on down. You listeners, you know, you sincere brothers, sisters out there that listen, watch the videos, you're on that list too, man. They've been researching to find out who we are, you know. But it's nothing to be afraid of because the Lord promised deliverance. You know, the Lord allowed Esau to perfect his blessing, the sword, just so he can magnify himself, man. Just so the Most High Yahweh Shemel Shai could be magnified in these last days with that great divine intervention that's coming. But let's read on down. All right, so it says verse 72. For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. You see that? Brothers gonna be, you know, again taken up, cast out of their houses. Right? Then shall they be known who are my chosen. See, in that day is gonna be known who's the Most High's chosen, because he's gonna deliver them, man. Brothers gonna be spiritual powers, all type of things, man. Right? Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as a gold in the fire. It's all a try of our faith, man. All a test of our faith, so if we truly believe in the Most High. You know, no matter how grim the situation may seem, the Lord got us. Let's read on down, verse 74. Hear, ye my beloved, saith the Lord, behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same. Be ye not afraid, neither doubt, for the Most High is your guide, and the guide of them will keep my commandments and precepts, saith the Lord power, Yahweh Shemel Shai. Let not your sins weigh you down, and let not your iniquities lift up themselves. So the Most High said, do not be afraid, I got you. I'm going to deliver you from the same. I know, you know, the days of trouble is coming, it's at hand, but I'm going to deliver you from the same. So we have nothing to fear. Right? We have nothing to fear but the Most High Yahweh Shemel Shai, because he's in full control of Esau. Right? But this how bad it's going to be in them times, because if I jump up, 2 Esdras 16 to verse 17, this is how forefather Ezra speaking, the prophet Ezra, right? He said, what, verse 17, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? That's how bad it was. And he's a prophet. And of course the Most High going to deliver him, but he was seeing how bad it was in these visions. He said, who going to deliver me in those days? Verse 18, the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death. And that's another thing too that will happen if they send forth a blackout. Like, you know, if you watch the video in the beginning, right, all the way through and understood what the, you know, he was going into, basically they're going to send like a blackout or whatever the case. So during that blackout, they're going to send the military or troops or mercenaries or UN troops to just come in and eliminate, you know, in the dark, you know. Then when power come back on, you know, people not, you know, because, you know, they're not got no internet to record and post or listen to military coming and killing us. You know what I'm saying? But we know the devil, he going to make it longer than just a day or 2 or 3 days. He going to make it, what, a couple months. And then we try to eliminate everybody. But in the midst of that, the Lord going to lift up a standard for his elect. So the word going to be spreading even further, man, because the brothers going to be doing some miraculous things. Raising the dead, killing these military troops, all type of stuff, man. So there's nothing to worry about, right? So from there, let's read on down. It says, the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars and the power shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils, what shall I do when this evil shall come? Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sin I scourge for amendment. But for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth, that they shall think themselves to be in good case. Like right now, they think they're in a good case, but evils are growing upon the earth. He's going to say it. And even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. You see that? So these are the times they're approaching, man. Right? But, you know, I don't want to make this too long, straight to the point. You know, that's the first priest that popped to my mind. But also we get Revelation 12:12, which is another classic. I'll get like a couple more through the Spirit. We get Revelation 12:12, and it reads, "Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down as you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he had but a short time." So how does Esau know he got a short time? He see everyone waking up to his BS. You know, he see everyone waking up, man. All his hidden things are being sought up. Everyone know who the Illuminati is, man. You know, everyone know Freemason, well, about Freemasonry. Everyone know about the Zionists and, you know, these wicked Amalekites. Everyone know about the, you know, this devil, man. You know, his dirt is being digged up. You know, so he's panicking. Now he know he got a short time to rule. You know, Esau may fear rebellion and stuff like that, man. So he gonna just go down, kill these people that's a threat to his NWO. You know, so he could try to establish it, because that's what the Lord is standing for, the elect of the nation of Israel. You Edomites, you know, that watch the type of videos, you're done. You heathens that watch the type of videos, you're through. And you got some jakes that's, you know, wicked, that watch those type of videos thinking they, you know, they smoke, they weed, they, you know, they just sit back, eat Pringles and watch the videos and laugh and, oh, look at the conspiracies. The Lord gonna allow Esau to kill you, because you ain't turned to him. You see that? So Esau better come down with that great wrath, man. He's not playing no games. And like I mentioned earlier, ultimately is he's trying to come down upon the nation Israel, which even going further, the elect of the nation Israel, but the Lord lifted up a standard. Let's get that. And this precept have been coming out a lot lately through the Spirit. Isaiah 59:19. And it reads, "So shall they fear the name of the Lord Yahweh Shemel from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord Yahweh Shemel shall lift up a standard against him." You know, so Esau coming like a flood, the enemy coming like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against Esau, man, against the devil. Meaning what? He won't give brothers spiritual powers and angels, all type of things, man. Make way for brothers to escape. So brothers got nothing to fear, nothing to worry about. Let's get Isaiah 41:10. "Fear thou not, for I am with thee. Be not dismayed, for I am thy power. I will strengthen thee, yea, I will help thee, yea, I will uphold thee with the right hand of my righteousness." Verse 11, "Behold, all they that were incensed against thee shall be ashamed and confounded." You see? So Esau, you know, he's incensed against us, but he's going to be ashamed and confounded when he try to touch the anointed. Scripture say what? "Touch not my anointed, do my prophets no harm." You know, so when you try to touch the Most High's chosen people, the elect, right? The Most High said you're gonna be ashamed and confounded, right? Verse read on down, it says, "They shall be as nothing, and they that strive with thee shall perish." You see that? Verse 12, "Thou shalt seek them and shalt not find them, even them that contend with thee. They that war against thee shall be as nothing, and as a thing of naught. For I, Yahweh Shemel Shai, thy power will hold thy right hand, saying unto thee, fear not, I will help thee." Right, so we got nothing to worry about. The Most High said, "I got you. I'm gonna help you during these times, man." Verse 14, "Fear not, thou worm Jacob, and ye men of Israel. I will help thee, saith the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai, and thy Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel." Then if you read on down, it goes to them spiritual powers that Lord give the men of the Lord. Right? Which I'll read. Verse 15, "Behold, I will make thee a new sharp threshing instrument having teeth. Thou shalt thresh the mountains, the governments, and beat them small, and shall make the hills chaff as chaff. Thou shalt fan them, and the wind shall carry them away, and the whirlwind shall scatter them. And thou shalt rejoice in Yahweh Shemel Shai, and shalt glory in the Holy One of Israel." So we know these troubling times are coming. A real purge is coming. You know, that's in the prophecy in 2 15, 16, Revelation 12, like I just read, Isaiah 59. What type of scripture going to, you know, the wrath that Esau to come down with? But the Lord said, what? "Don't be afraid. I'm delivering you in them times of trouble." All right, so we have nothing to fear. Esau, you can do whatever you want, man. Just bring it. You know what I'm saying? Just bring it already, because the quicker you move, the quicker the Most High gonna move, man. Because ultimately, the Most High is controlling you at the end of the day, whether you realize it or not. So I'm in it right there, and I pray you was edified through the Spirit and power Yahweh Shemel Shai. I want to give call Halayim La Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem SHAQADAN. Double honor to the elders and apostles of your millstone. Peace and salutations, like scattered abroad, pushing his truth and sincerity without a mistake. Shalom, wa ba ba ba. Shalom.